This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back, baby. Let's get into a little Miami Dolphins talk. Like we don't do enough of that here on this show. That's for damn sure. Any show on the planet talks more Miami Dolphins. Any show on the planet has more Miami Dolphin insiders than the man, the myth, the legend. Right here. This is one of our stars right here, Omar Kelly, baby.
You've got two legends.
We got 2 stars now. Oh,
yeah.
I like it. Well, 1 star and 1 fizzling star. You know. We all know. We all know who the real star is in that picture.
Yeah, you found that funny? Yes.
Yeah.
We had a health scare, so we had a health scare, so Daddy's playing Daddy daycare today.
Okay. I like it. All right, the good thing is you're staying away from the facility, so you're staying away from COVID. So that's actually a really good thing.
Yeah, we still got to go to practice to basically serve as pool reporters to tell you what's happening today. As you know, Myles Gaskin and Ahmed Saban Ahmed have returned to practice.
Yeah.
If they're cleared to practice, they clearly will be cleared to play in the game because they're allowed back in the facility. Now the question is whether Javon Holland will be cleared tomorrow. How
about Lindsey? How about Lindsey?
Yeah, Lindsey too. I mean, here's my thing. He's coming back from an ankle injury, and he doesn't really know the offense, and that's one of the questions that I really asked.
I just want him blocking, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
at this point, I'm not worried about a running back running anymore for the Dolphins.
Oh wow!
I just want him to block. That's all. I just want him to pick up one of the blocks that one of the linemen miss, and somebody becomes free, like Lindsey did on that big Waddle catch. That's the only thing I'm thinking of right now. You know what I mean? And I thought Cameron Wolf made a good point on Wednesday when he joined us, that he said that Malcolm he thought was the better blocker. So if they get Malcolm back,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Then that's what I like. That at this point, I'm not expecting anything in the run game. But if at least you're going to play running back, bro, please block at least. Please block.
I think they need something in the running game. I mean, you can't be the worst rushing team in the NFL, which is part of the reason why I was kind of excited to see Duke Johnson, because at this point you can't get any worse. You got to do better. You got to do better than what they've been doing. Right now they're tied with Houston for the worst rushing team in the NFL. Just imagine where this offense would be if they had a 4 yards per carry average. Right now during the streak of winning 5 straight games, they've attempted 28 attempts per game. Think about that, Big O. 28 attempts per game. And it's really because the balance is important. Without the threat of the run,
right.
Without the threat of the run, the RPO is pointless.
Right.
Now, imagine if you had a running game that teams actually had to respect.
Hey, look at last night. I'm watching Herbert, and he did everything to win that game. It's not his fault they lost last night. He played a good game because they dropped some touchdowns on him yesterday. But he had 200 yards rushing. And I'm like, man, I wish Tua had 200 yards.
I don't need my quarterback to do that. I don't want my quarterback to do that.
No, not the quarterback, doggy. I'm saying the team rushed for 200 yards. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback ran for 30. He had one long run that's kind of what it was. But I'm saying as the team, they ran for 200 yards. What I would give for Tua to have 150 yards rushing in a game, that would be fantastic.
I'm not even greedy. I just want 120. Just give me 120 without 30 carries.
You're correct. You're right.
I listen, and people don't really understand all that goes into the RPO offense, and we're learning it. I'm learning it. There's so many different elements to it. Have to be able to throw the slant. Have to have a jet sweep player. Have to have a seam threat tight end. Have to have a guy who could stretch the field. Have to have a running back who can pass block. You have to have an offensive line who can get you, who can create creases with teamwork and tandem blocks. And have to have a quarterback who makes smart, quick decisions. I think the only thing the Dolphins have on that list is a quarterback who can make smart decisions.
He throws a slant better than anybody out there, bro.
He does. He throws a ridiculously good slant. It's very catchable. He throws a very catchable ball.
He's not the problem in any of the equations.
No.
Okay. All right. I think he's proven that. I think the problem in these equations are a lot of the things around him. It's not him. You know what I mean? And so that to me is the real issue here. Like you talk about, whether it's the running game or the offensive line, those two issues right there for your RPOs, man, that would change everything.
And I said something on X's and O's, and I really thought about it and gave it some deep consideration. The way that they've operated this season and this offseason, and it's like they're, and I hate to say it because I know it's not true. It's like they're unintentionally sabotaging him in every facet of the game around him and around the RPO. They failed. And I'm like, how is an organization that then tried to trade for another quarterback in the midst of probably one of the worst sagas or dramas, legal troubles?
And if you dig a little bit more, you'll find out not everybody wanted to trade for him in that building.
Oh man, let's not go there.
I'm just telling you, everybody in that building's on the same page.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Listen, it's
big, and you'll find out.
Whenever things don't happen or things fall apart or things make them look bad, it's always I'm sorry. Everybody was on board. They've been trying to make that trade happen since April, March.
They weren't all on board on Tua either, my brother.
Listen, and nobody's ever all on board with it.
I'm just telling you that when it comes to that quarterback stuff, there's a lot of there's several heated disagreements going on. Let's just say it that way.
Oh, all right. You keep believing that.
Oh, I'm not telling you what I believe.
Okay.
I'm telling you what's going on. Okay.
All right.
I'm telling you what's going on. Not everybody's on the same page in that organization. They can tell you all the BS they want publicly. They're not on the same page.
They listen. In order to do anything, they've got to be all on the same page. It's
publicly they tell you that.
Everybody is always.
You could tell by the actions on the field and the results that they weren't on the same page.
You can tell by the lack of performance that they suck at their job. All of them.
Well, offensively, they have put themselves in a suck at their job stature. Nobody can argue with you on that. Nobody can argue with you on that. Well, certain things. You know what I mean? Not everything, because obviously it's not you can't suck at picking Jalen Waddle, and you can't suck at picking Mike Gesicki, and you can't suck at picking Tua Tagovailoa. You know what I mean? So there are things that they're doing right, but there are things that, whether it's your offensive line picks or whether it's your offensive line development or your offensive line coaching or your offensive coordinators or whatever it is, there's other areas that definitely you are suffering big time.
My thing is, when you look at this organization and you look at the 2 years of failures in free agency, we're not bringing up the draft. We're not talking about.
I got you.
And you look at the fact that they're going to have $72 million in cap space and have the opportunity to probably create another $20 million by purging players. And you say, okay, we're going to have these guys do it all over again. Draft, that's one area. That's fine. I don't outside of their ability to pick offensive linemen and maybe linebackers, I don't really concern myself with the draft. Now, free agency, where you should be able to sign proven commodities, you should be able to make smart decisions, you should be able to read the room. You should be able to negotiate well because, that's what Steve Ross and this organization, they should be doing is negotiating well. They've been piss poor. And, and it's just like last offseason where I was just like, okay, you can't make the same mistakes you've made the last 2 off seasons with running back this offseason. You can't. And here we go again. They make the same mistake.
Yeah, well, you got to fix the line first. Either way, your backs aren't going to get anywhere without that line. You got to get that line fixed. Omar, you know that the backs they have now would be serviceable with a good line. They wouldn't be great.
I don't want
they would be serviceable. No,
I don't want serviceable.
I know what you're saying, my man. I totally agree with you 100%. But you have to agree with me
if you're winning
that if you
and
have
having success now because you're running the ball 28 times. Who runs the ball 28 times in the NFL? The Dolphins do. And you're having
Baltimore,
Indianapolis. But
yeah, Indy does too. That's right.
If you're running as much as the best rushing teams, and you have the worst run game in the NFL, but you're doing it because it's a predominantly important part of the RPO offense. The first word is run.
Yeah.
And you don't put an emphasis on improving the talent that you have in the backfield, and not just the talent in the backfield, but the talent you have on your offensive line.
Right.
You suck as an organization.
I'm with you, but I'm saying in the end, it starts with the line. Because if you have a good line,
I've preached that for 14 years.
If you have a good line, you'll have a good running game, no matter who it is. You have a good running game, and if you have a good line and you put a great back, then you'll have a great running game. That's the difference, obviously, because a great back will take it to another level. If you have a good line, Omar, there are plenty of teams that can run the ball at you because they have a good line constantly. And they'll lose a back, and they'll get another one, and they'll get another one, and they'll still run the ball out.
Denver's that team, and
they used to be a team.
Yeah, I saw some. They're still running. They're still a predominantly run team, in my opinion. We'll see. But yeah, I don't disagree with you. I've preached that for 14 years.
Yeah,
like I preach when everybody's. This is the first year I ever strayed from get the offensive lineman, and I felt like Jalen Waddle was the right pick, but Sewell, he would have helped you. He would have helped you, and you could have went and got Elijah Moore later.
Yeah, it can't hurt. I'm with you there. All right, and that's the thing, man. It's just a matter of, and I would imagine that this offseason it's a pretty obvious thing that you've got to get that offensive line fixed, get that running game going, and you got to get an O-line coach.
We can say things were obvious.
I don't know if they can find it.
They had to add talent at wide receivers. You know what's going to be lining up for Tua this Sunday? Devontae Parker, Mac Hollins, Mike Gesicki pretending to be a wide receiver, and Isaiah Ford.
It's a hell of a foursome.
Well, how different is that than the team that Tua ended the season with?
Yeah, no, not much of a difference.
There is no difference.
No,
there is no difference.
No,
except Jakeem Grant's not there saving, be it rescuing everyone.
Yeah, I tell you, and he is there to save everybody. I mean, he puts on the cape every once in a while.
Hey, he's a free agent. At this point, the return game is non-existent. Hey, for 1.5, come on back.
Not with Flo. Flo can't be here for him to come back. He won't come back with Flo. It's probably going to be the line in the sand. Now,
Flo didn't drop all them passes.
No, I know that, but Flo should have just played him at special teams. Leave him alone there. Just leave him there on special teams.
They were. He wasn't happy. So.
He was still playing him at wide receiver, which is just crazy. But anyway, okay, so
that's what they
COVID wise, no other new developments.
Nobody got popped today.
All right, that's good.
I mean, they're quarantined. Half the team is meeting in this room. Half the team is meeting via Zoom. They're all doing team meetings over Zoom. They're only practicing in person. There's been so many changes right now. We're back to what we had to finish the season with last year, which is basically everything is Zoom. And truthfully speaking, the product didn't get impacted last year. It shows you that they don't need to be in the building for 9 hours doing all this foolishness, and I expected to have the same result this year. They'll finish these games and they'll play, and they won't reschedule, and the NFL will keep it moving, and will survive this outbreak again.
In talking with Flo, somebody's got to ask him. I wonder if from here on out, are they going to have like a third quarterback away from the team or something like that now?
That's a good question. Because
Kansas City did that last year. They were the first team to do that, and that was really smart.
Yeah.
When they had somebody away from the team. And if you're Miami at this point, man, maybe you want to keep a quarterback away just in case.
Yeah, I that's a good question. A good question for a Monday. You clearly won't put the two quarterbacks in the same room or same vicinity for a while.
Right. But I don't know who's the third guy now.
Washington State Luton.
Luton, that's it. Josh Luton. Yes.
There you go.
Yes. I actually like that kid.
I did too.
He's got skill sets to play in this league. Now, can he play? We'll find out. But
yeah.
But I actually liked him as a project guy late in the draft a couple of years ago when he was coming out of Oregon State.
I did too. At this point, you gotta, and this is truly a great test because their whole wide receiver room got cleaned out. Whole running back room got cleaned out. Imagine if it was your running back room and your wide receiver room. That would be mind blowing. That would just be another chapter in the legacy of Tua, of Tua's rise to greatness. Remember that game when all the running backs and all the wide receivers caught COVID, right, and Tua went out there and won it with practice squad players against those wildly crazy Jets teams. Today, listen, I got to share this with you. Today,
mm-hmm.
And this I spent like 5 minutes laughing at this. Brian Flores was impersonating Bill Belichick, and he talked about how Zach Wilson has become one of the hot quarterbacks in the NFL. And and I'm like,
well, he's hot because his mom is hot. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm literally dying laughing. I'm like dying laughing because I had just spent like Wednesday looking at Zach Wilson, and it is hot trash. It is worse than John Beck in 2007.
Dude, it's part two of Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold was way better than this.
I'm saying they're both turnover machines.
Sam Darnold was way better than this as rookie.
Sam Darnold's a turnover machine is my point. He was a turnover machine at USC. He was a turnover machine at the Jets. He was a turnover machine in Carolina.
I don't think that's Zach Wilson's problem. Zach Wilson doesn't know what the hell he's looking at. That's his problem.
But he turns it over.
And he hasn't learned how to check down properly. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, when you have a quarterback playing that bad, I don't care if he's a rookie. I don't care if he's a number 2 pick. You sit him because there's no returning from that. Like, you're going to break him, and then he's going to see ghosts for the rest of his career. He's going to create bad habits that never change.
And he's in New York.
Yeah, like you got to
don't ever let that part slip. Okay, he's in New York, which then he has to deal with all those tabloids and everything else. Oh
no, you got to reel it back in, man, because it is bad. And
he's got a loudmouth mother.
Is she a loudmouth?
Oh yeah, she's gonna go when they start picking on him. Oh man, she's gonna go after all the fans. It's gonna get ugly.
Listen,
ugly.
I'm so excited to see this game because I think it's gonna, even with Javon Holland not playing, and we won't know that until tomorrow at about 4:00. I think there's a good chance he can get activated because two running backs who you clearly know hang out with each other all the time, they got activated.
But that was did Holland get also called last week also like them?
What do you mean?
Was he COVID last week or early this week?
No, he was the third guy COVID. No, fourth guy COVID.
From last week, right? From last week then,
No,
right?
no, this week.
So how can he clear
it? Oh, yeah. You're right.
No, Gaskins and all these guys were from last week.
You're right. They were last week.
If Holland's this week, he can't, there's Waddle has no chance at playing.
Yeah, Waddle has no chance.
But I don't know about I thought Holland was early this week.
No, Holland was early this week, but he's still got to produce two negative tests. And there's a possibility. Like Waddle has no chance.
Right. No. Waddle's done for this week at least.
Yeah. And Isaiah Ford, you can expect him to step up and be that slide, and Mac Hollins and Mike Gesicki, and as Brian.
Hey man, listen, if all those guys are healthy, I can count on Isaiah, bro, to play the slot and play it good. I can count on Devontae Parker to get me a couple fades and some slants. I can count on Gesicki to make some plays. And I know I can count on Mac Hollins because all he does is make plays.
4 touchdowns and 7 receptions. Yeah. Maybe this is the game. Hey, listen. And I thought about this, and I'm going to shoot this idea to you. This is Preston Williams' game. Yeah, come on. Don't quit on me.
I already quit on Preston. I never quit on you. I love you. You're like my brother.
Listen.
Preston Williams, I quit on his Dogecoin ass a while back already. I'm done with him.
Remember when people were talking about Preston Williams is going to be a Pro Bowl talent, and Preston Williams
is a Pro Bowl talent.
He is a Pro Bowl talent. He does. Pro Bowl talent. The talent is there, man.
Hell yeah, the talent's there.
This is week 15.
Is the heart there? Is what I ask you. Is the heart, the determination?
I think it's more the intellect than the heart. But
I don't know if you watch a lot of Heat basketball.
Yeah, I watch.
But I'd like Preston Williams to watch a kid named Gabe Vincent, and he should watch that kid and what he's done the last 2 years and how he's grown and how he plays with balls, how he plays with moxie, how he plays with hunger, how he plays with desire, how he gets pissed when it doesn't go well for him, how he pains, whether it's a loss, how he wants to win. And that's what I want to see from Preston Williams. I don't see that from his ass. I see a Generation Z that is just,
going through the motions.
Yeah, exactly. Great line. Just going through the motions, dude.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know that his career is in the balance right now. He doesn't. He's
no Isaiah Ford. Isaiah Ford is cut, sent to practice squads, traded away. The sumbitch never gets faded by it. Never is down on his confidence. He fights it all. And every time you give him an opportunity, he plays his ass off and helps you out. He is a pro's pro. And I admire the hell out of Isaiah Ford because you talk about people that have determination and belief in their dreams and they don't stop. That's Isaiah Ford and that's Gabe Vincent.
Listen, if somebody's going to step up and save this team and get them to the playoffs and be that talent that's missing from this team, I give you 2 names: Philip Lindsay and Preston Williams.
Okay, I see what you're going. I've lost hope for Preston, but I see where you're going. It makes sense what you're saying.
If the light bulb came on and Preston said, "Okay, I got my assignment. I'm that split end," or you can make me the flanker, or hey, I'm reliable as an H-back.
If the light went on, you wouldn't have to draft another guy next year.
Oh, well, I'm just talking about the Final Four. You got to draft.
I'm saying if the light went on with that talent, he would become a real player opposite of Waddle, and you won't need to go reach for a guy in the first couple of rounds.
You got to do that anyway. But but I'm just saying, if they want to get to 10, the answer's simple. The defense got to keep playing the way that they're playing. Philip Lindsay's got to show up, and Preston Williams shows up. Both of those guys show up, and the defense keeps playing the way they're playing, and Tua plays a clean game, and the offensive line gives them some sort of protection. 10 wins. Promise you. Now, will that happen? Doubt it. But you need somebody else offensively to step up. Who it'll be, I have no idea. Preston Williams is the most talented of all of those players. Mm-hmm. He's in the most need. Hell, they need him to be a punt returner. Remember when he got hurt returning punts and Dolphin fans were like, why is our most talented young receiver returning punts? Oh, my God, how stupid is this coaching staff? Okay, He's a talented punt returner now. There was a reason why he was taking punts from Jakeem Grant. He's got talent. He's got that wiggle.
Yeah.
And at this point in his career, he should be raising his hand for every single job that's open. Gunner, need me? Hand raise.
Right.
Punt returner, you need me? Hand raise. Kickoff returner, need me? Hand raise. H-back, hand raise. Because he's not guaranteed. He's a restricted free agent at the end of the season. They're probably going to pick up his option, but it ain't guaranteed. It's not guaranteed.
No, I'm with you.
And neither is his roster spot.
All right, you got him winning on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about all the COVIDs, but
of course.
I mean, but it's the Jets. What do they got? They're giving up 30 points a game. They got Zach Wilson as their starting quarterback. Michael Carter might come back this week. And that's scary. But, they don't have much to offer. They don't have much to threaten.
So basically the Jets are the virus. I got you. Okay. All right.
And I'll be watching the NFL to see if these players are giving each other daps and hugs and you got to cut all that stuff out right now before you pass it to the next locker room. You got to cut that stuff out.
See the Browns? They've got like 20 people on the COVID list, dude. I mean, it's like a crazy-ass list, man.
All it takes is one, and supposedly this Omarosa version,
this thing spreads quickly. Yeah,
it spreads quickly. So I'm being cautious myself.
So, but apparently, your wife's a nurse. Apparently, it's not as bad, right? Apparently, is that true? That
it's. I don't know. I can't sit there and they don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody can tell you.
I know they're all learning every day about this.
They're learning. This one spreads quickly and easily.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. Like, how many more are going to spread quickly and easily? Yeah. Like, what the next version is going to spread by just walking by people? Like, what's going on?
It morphs. Yeah, it morphs, dude. Because as long as we stay unvaccinated, we keep it alive.
I just saw something. They're allowing 5-year-olds to be vaccinated. It is what it is. My daughter goes for her 4-month and 8-month visit, and they give her 4 or 5 vaccines at a time. COVID will be stuck in there just like the rest of them.
Right. Vaccines have been a part of our lives completely, dude. Measles, whatever it is, we've been taking vaccines forever, man. I mean,
I just want the world to go back to normal, so my life can go back to normal. But truthfully speaking, I don't think I'll ever be back in the NFL locker room, ever.
Ooh.
And
I hope that's not the case, because
tell me how it's going to be the case.
No, I'm saying I hope it's not the case, because then the league will never be covered the same again. And we've already lost.
They don't want the
I know what they don't want. I don't care about what they don't want. I'm just saying what I want as a fan. I like being in the locker room. I've been in the locker room. I've watched you guys in the locker room.
You cannot have
and we get to find out more
about being in the locker room.
Exactly. We get to find out more about human beings, and what they're going through, because that's the story we're not telling enough. So we bring perspective into everything, and that's what you guys do. It's not just about X's and Omar. It's not just about the analysis and who's going to win and not, but it's also about the human being and what they're going to and how they got here.
These Robert Hunt
stories. Yeah, these are the stories you want to find out about.
We get a little bit of that, but we don't. It's so purified and cleansed. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's bogus. It's bogus right now. So, it is what it is. All right, my brother. I appreciate you as always. Have a great weekend. We will talk post-game, and hopefully a happy post-game there from Sports Grow. It is the reason why they're 5-0, because we switched from Miami Lakes to Bird Road, obviously. It's not.
There's a Miami Lakes Sports Grow?
Yeah, there's a Miami Lakes Sports Grow. We were there for 8 weeks. Thanks for noticing.
Send me the address. Like, bro, I didn't know there was a sports grill that close to me. For real. I know where they are in Kendall.
For 8 weeks. For 8 weeks, the man was on a post-game show.
I didn't know you were the Miami Lakes version of him.
It's right off of 154th, right on Miami Lakes Boulevard.
I thought you were in Kendall.
You know Palmetto and 154th?
Yeah.
Okay, you get off, you go west, and it's the shopping center immediately to your right. It's right there.
West Shopping Center immediately to the right. Okay.
Right, where the Publix and the Outback is. See, fat people know where food is at. Those are our what's it called?
The superpower?
Yeah, that's what we use as reference points. Okay, Outback. See, fat man knows where Outback is, and Sports Girl's right next to it. So there you go. See, and Publix subs. See, you know. So fat people know where all
that's
the
the best point
are,
you've made this segment. The accuracy is fat people use food as landmarks.
All right,
Omar, it's literally 10 minutes from Hard Rock Stadium.
Yes, it is 10 minutes from Hard Rock Stadium, which means you could have visited us for some of those post game shows, and we would have fed you some.
I got too much work to do, but I definitely I've been craving those special grill, man. That double grill.
Yeah.
Best, I have the best wings in South Florida.
Well, you never know. You might have an opportunity on a monthly basis to eat them because I might be working on something else. So you never know. You never know as we expand here on the show. Oh, have a great weekend, my brother. We will talk on the post-game show. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
You got it. There he is. Omar Kelly on Twitter at Omar Kelly. And he's at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Okay. Not at the Miami Lakes location of Sports Girl, but he's at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. So make sure you subscribe and follow it. That is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.